I might need therapy, still ain't talk to my mom. Still fighting with my demons, trying to kill them all. Might need.
Today's guest is Justin Young, also known as Marcey Yates, a pioneer, an artist,
and a culture builder who kept rising when everything else was falling apart. This is his story.
How do you think your life would have ended up if you didn't have that structure from your dad in the capacity that you did?
I think I probably just ended up just caught up in the streets. I didn't see my parents together like that, bro. I never seen them love on each other. I never seen them work through nothing. I saw them not like each other anymore.
Were there ever points in time where you found yourself struggling with anger, struggling with sadness, struggling with, like you said, just being able to release your emotions in a healthy way?
Yo, I got out the house.
What's good, y'all? Before we get into today's episode, I got a quick favor to ask. If you could, please hit the subscribe button. The only reason that I'm asking is because by you subscribing, it helps for me to be able to continue to create this content. I don't have a big team or I'm not getting paid by some type of external source to create this content. I do it all on my own dollar. And so instead of doing fundraisers and asking, hey, donate $1, sign up for my Patreon, doing all of that stuff, all I ask is that you please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button too. Hit it right now, please. And just leave a comment, leave something, because what that does is it shows the algorithm that this content is worth putting out there. That's the free thing that I ask for you, to just support the show and what we're creating here on the Clean Your Room show. So please subscribe, please like, and please leave a comment. And let's get into today's episode. Justin Young, AKA Marcey Yates, dope artist, dope individual, somebody who was pioneering culture in the Omaha, Nebraska area on a big level, and did it at a time where, man, how the fuck you even make that happen? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In a time where there was a lot of doom and gloom, in a time where there were a lot of businesses shutting down, in a time where there was a lot of funding being pulled. There was something about what you were doing that seemed to break through this barrier and this wall, and just continuing to thrive on a level that we haven't necessarily seen before, or at least in our generation we haven't seen. And so, bro, take us back to how this all started, childhood, bro.
Man, how this all started in my childhood. I grew up here in Omaha, North Omaha. Tried for 49th and Fort, went to Mount View Elementary. Shout outs to the Lions. A lot of hood legends came from there, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. I spent a lot of time down off of 19th and Sprague with my grandparents as well too, man. So that's kind of
That's Coons Park.
At Coons Park, yeah, exactly, man. Murder Town, all that stuff, man. And, right there, King Science, man. That's where we used to get runs on the football field. You know what I'm saying? We used to hoop. The alley court over there. I feel like I got all my athletic chops playing in the streets down there. When it snowed, we'd be outside playing tackle football in the streets. The OGs across the street always had us outside catching balls, and you know what I'm saying, hooping. Marcus and Mahadi had the court across the street. They had to hoop. Everybody was always over there, man. But yeah, man. Grew up over there. Went to Nathan Helford Junior High. Then I went to Benson High. At Benson High, I was track, basketball, football. In track I did the hurdles, 110s, 300s. Football, I was a wide receiver, but then I transitioned to quarterback by my junior year. So I played QB my junior, senior year. And basketball, man, I love basketball, man, but I stopped hooping after my sophomore year. Man, I got on varsity in track and football, as you know what I'm saying, early. So I was like, man, I ain't trying to do that. Because we was loaded in hoops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, at Benson at that time, we was stacked. We had some hoopers. You know what I mean? So I played my freshman and sophomore year. I played reserve my sophomore year. And so I just didn't go out my junior, senior year. But it was all good, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, man, I'll be giving cats work in the men's league, in the city league. So, listen, now, I ain't gonna front. I'll be having my good games sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I have a good day, And it just might be on somebody's favorite hooper. You know what I'm saying? they used to get off. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah, man. But look, man, I love sports growing up, right? Like I wanted to go to the NBA or the NFL, right? And I grew up in church, so that was always like the other side of things. So on the weekends or during the weekday, got to go to Bible study and, you know what I'm saying, learn the word. But I think that's huge, like in every, you know what I'm saying, Black person's like family, right? You know, church, period. But, you know, so I learned a lot, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, that was that, man. I made it out of high school, you know, and I just didn't have a lot of good grades, man, you know. So that dream of like, you know, going to, I didn't really understand, man. Listen, I didn't understand about JUCOs, how like, you know, just go there for a year, you know, get your, you know, like, man, I wanted to go D1, right? I didn't want to go D2. I didn't want to go NAIA, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I ain't know better, you know? Cause if I know anything, I'd be like, man, I just go to school, do your thing, and then you'll get a shot. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, my grades was trash, and so I ended up taking like my first year off out of high school, and that's when my son, my first son was conceived, man. During that first
18,
year.
19 years old?
Yeah, 18. Then I had him right after I turned 19. I turned 19 in August, and he was born in December. You know what I mean? So, I enrolled in at ECC, Ellsworth Community College over in Iowa Falls, Iowa. I need to get my grades up.
Iowa Falls,
yeah.
Where that at?
It's like 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours in Iowa.
Dang.
So past like Des Moines, like around like the Mason City, Waterloo.
Okay.
Like kind of, you know what I'm saying, area. So they're sitting there, man, just small town.
How'd you find out about this place?
I was looking for junior colleges to go to that would let me walk on football.
Okay.
So Coach Sala, shout outs to him, man. You know, he let me walk on. And I ended up having a red shirt that year. Like I just didn't beat out any of the out of town guys, man. You had dudes from Florida, from everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Transferred back to Omaha after that year. You know, got my grades up. Then I got into a program at UNO where they let me in, but I still had to get my math and my English, I think. It's credits in those. I had to get those up or something like that. Maybe not English. It was math and something else. But anyways, you know, so I did my thing, man. But I was in and out. Man. Shouts to Mr. Clancy, man. He was one of the like guidance counselors, like up there, man. And he was a guy that like poured into me, man. Right? Because I was always just inconsistent with school. Like, and at that time, like I had my kid, but I was getting more into like music, you know, like put more time into that. So I'm missing class, but also, man, I just had bad habits, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, habits I'm still trying to break today. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just don't go away. You know, so like I'm learning that shit too. You know.
Talk a little bit about some of those habits. What were they?
Procrastination, right? Waiting the last minute to do things, right? To do your homework, or, you know, like not prioritizing, right? And so that's how you can be missing assignments, be late, not prepared for the tests, being late to school, missing class, you know what I'm saying? Just not getting up early enough, not going to sleep early enough, right? Just all that, you know what I'm saying, right? All those things that you can't take into the business world, right?
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be acceptable.
Yeah. Bro, I'm curious, not to cut you off, but I'm curious about just this progression of leading here. what was your early years in school like when it came to just like the struggles and difficulties that you were having as far as just like grades and things like that? Because one of the things you mentioned was just struggling with that even in your college years. And so what did like elementary, middle school, and even high school look like when it came to those things?
Yeah, so I tell you what, I think just your environment, it's not an excuse, but I think your environment at home it does play a role in your success in school. I didn't have no issues going through elementary school, right? Like I didn't get held back or nothing. You know, I was always average student. I would every now and then maybe get honor roll, you know. But that was it, you know, getting like threes, you know, back then like ones and twos was the good grades, and then three was like a C, like mid. So I was like a B and C. When I got to junior high, that's like kind of when like things kind of shifted a bit. Like I grew up living with my dad, and my mom was always separated, like since like first grade. So he was always like, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, honest, right? In terms of just like discipline, you know what I'm saying? So if to his standards, my grades weren't good, even though I was eligible with the school, but if they weren't to his standards, he ain't gonna let me play. So when I got to 7th grade, I was eligible to play sports, but he wouldn't let me because I had a D. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so I didn't get to play no sports my 7th grade year. Man, I was salty at that. I bounced back my 8th grade year though, you know. And I was fine, man. I got out of school. Man, I knew homies that got held back, right? Because, you know, their grades was, you know what I'm saying, it was bad. So like I wasn't like a bad student, but sometimes I would get in trouble though, right? Like when I was in elementary school, man, just growing pains. I don't know what grade I was in, maybe 5th or 6th grade, and across the street walking home, and a lady honked a horn at me. I cuss at her, right? I cuss at her. She stopped her car. She stopped her car. She put on the side of the street, and then when you a kid, like I cuss her, but for some reason, like she still stopped me. And then at the time she stopped me, my dad's actually pulling up to pick me up. She knew my dad.
Oh, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
She knew my dad, you know? And so she told him, of course, you know, and then my dad, his punishment would be, as I got older, the punishment would just be like chores and tasks. So I had to like write, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of like 100 times. Like I would never say that word again. He made me write that 100 times, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, right? Like I said, man, I would just get in trouble. In junior high, man, in school suspension, I was in there, man, you know? But
you had a permanent room, a permanent little spot.
Man, I was in there, dog. Like it was one point I was in there for like 2 months straight, bro.
Oof.
And the reason why is because like you can't get out unless you gotta do the rules and stuff that they want you to do, and then you gotta do your schoolwork. And you know, like man, if the teachers don't want you in the classroom anyways, man, they don't, you know what I'm saying, they don't care about getting you back in there. So they'll just be sitting there working, piling stuff, and you gotta finish all that before you can even get back. You know what I'm saying? Get back to class. So, but that was my fault why I got put in there for so long, man. Cause I can just being silly, man. You know, my art teacher told me to sit down, and me not liking how he told me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't sit down, and rather than that, though, I tried to, you know what I'm saying, pump up my chest, and so he didn't take that well at all. So I actually got expelled, but then my dad got me back in. But they was like, well, he got service expulsion inside of in-school suspension. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, you learn from it, man, right?
Facts.
Got out of junior high, and I got to high school. So my freshman year, I had difficulties, man. You know what I'm saying? Just meeting the requirements to be eligible. My freshman year, started right there. So I remember first semester, I think I had like 2 Fs. So I wasn't eligible to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So like I started off, I got to play, but then once the grades came out, then I couldn't play no more my freshman year. Then I couldn't run track, right? I was supposed to be, you know, all right. So, dang, And you know, all right, man, just my first year, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you know, I didn't really know I was gonna go, you know, scheduling, you know, like just an adjustment. So, you know, blame it on that maybe, you know. But I can't pinpoint what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Even looking back at it, like I can't. So I know that I get to the 10th grade and that was my best year, right? My best year. I was eligible for everything the whole entire year. So I bounced back, right? I was varsity track, varsity football. You know what I mean? I placed in state. I had a great year, lettered and everything, right? My sophomore team basketball, we went undefeated. We didn't lose to nobody. We even played in the JV tournament for the holiday tournament, and beat I think it was Gross. They JV team as sophomores. You know what I'm saying? It was nice. You feel me? But yeah, so it was a great year, right? And then come my junior year, right? Now, what happened was, and what I haven't talked about is just like me and my dad just kind of butting heads, you know? So maybe like some resentment from like him wanting me to do things his way, right? And maybe I, you know, wanted to do things my way, right? I don't know. So it get to a point to where me and him just kind of butt heads a lot. I'm getting older, and you know, there's things I want to do, right? With my time, not being told what to do. That I'm doing that, but you know, being told what to do with my time, right? I'm deciding what I'm gonna do on my time. Weekend come, I want to go do this. Not being told I gotta go do this with my auntie and, you know, go do some yard, you know, go do like stuff I don't want to do.
What's a specific situation that you remember?
A specific situation where things came to a head was that I was getting ready to go to the mall one day, and like I did everything I was supposed to do, and man, you see me getting ready. You see me getting ready all morning, and then I'm getting ready to leave. And ask me where am I going, right? And then tell me that I got to go do this, right? Which is go do something with my aunt, something so my aunt, or like church or something like that, man. You know, man, looking back at it, maybe. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't remember this shit anymore. But I know that he just had a habit of just like not letting me do what I wanted to do, right? He would do things like this, man. Come pull me out of a party. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had no problem like embarrassing you. I'm on the phone, right? You know how like then like the house phone, so you can be upstairs or downstairs, and you can just pick up the phone. You can listen to a conversation. He used to do that. And then interrupt and like trying to embarrass me and stuff like that. Man, he used to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, and I would express to him like how I felt about it. Man, one time I even wrote like, man, I tried stuff, dog. I did. Like I wrote and read it to him, and he act like I don't know if you ever seen that episode of The Cosby Show where Theo, he wrote a letter to Cliff, his dad, and he was explaining to him, you know, how you know certain things like made him feel, and then Cliff was like, "That's the dumbest thing I ever heard." Right? He just shut him down. Yeah, that's kind of like when my D kind of like shut me down, man, like that. So, like I said before, man, we started bumping heads a lot, and man, it just came to a boiling point. We were just like, man, there's too many men in the house, right? And so, man, I look back at it, man, like, man, this is going into my junior year. It's like that summer. And so, what I ended up doing was, man, I packed my bags, man. I went to my homie crib, and then I went to my mom's crib, right? My brother had already went to my mom's crib. He was getting into it with my dad, you know? And so I think that, you know, just kind of mixed with some things that my dad was just getting older. He was just old when he had me. He was 39 when he had me.
Oh,
right?
man, okay, yeah.
So he had sick as hell. He was always sick, right? And I'm just not sure, like, exactly how he was raised. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, parents pass certain, like, things, you know, that how they was either disciplined or they traumas, and you know what I'm saying? Just things like that. I think that, you know, that's how they end up like dealing with you. Yeah. Kinda. You know what I'm saying? I look back at it, you know.
Real quick, it's a couple bridges that we need to gap. So one, you mentioned like your brother moved in with your mom, and I think there's a whole period in time that many people might be curious about, like, because originally you were like, grew up with your dad, mom just wasn't there. What was the relationship dynamic between your mom, one, and then two, you got siblings.
Yeah.
And I think it might be a lot of people who don't know that you got siblings, but as soon as you say their names, they're gonna be like, oh dang, that's your siblings. So, so go ahead real quick, introduce who your siblings are. And then just dive into just like what was the dynamic during this period up until your junior year, like between you and your moms up until you moved in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a twin brother, Julian Young, and then I have an older brother and sister, Teddy Young and Jennifer Young. Teddy is co-owner of Stable Gray, and Jennifer is the owner of the Wicked Paper Studios, along with my cousin Chantel. And then Julian, he owns the Scooters Coffee Shop, and then the Julian Young Business Advisory on 30th and Ames. So yeah, man.
All business owners.
All business owners. That's like we all got the same mom and dad, but I got Reggie, Wayne, Jeff. Reggie and Wayne is my dad's kids he had with another woman, and then Vicky and Kim, so 4. And then Jeff was my mom only other child she had. So yeah, man, kind of different generations there. I gotta tell you, man, my dad had a whole set. He had a whole family before me and my brother came in. My brother and sister, and they twins too. So mama had 2 sets of twins.
Dang.
You know, so yeah. But man, hey man, I love my mom, dog. You know what I mean? Like they they didn't work out, but my mom she had visitations, right? So Wednesday, Thursdays, and then every other weekend. So, I would go to my mom's, but it'd typically be like me going to my grandparents though, being, you know what I'm saying? Cause like my mom would be there when we went there, but then like she'll probably like leave, you know what I'm saying? Go hang out or, with her friends or, you know what I'm saying, whatnot. And my mom liked to drink and stuff at that time, and so that was like an illness she had, was just alcoholism,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. But I love my mom, man. She was there when she could be, you know what I'm saying? And when it was time for her to step up, she did, So like I said, man, I'll go to my mom's when, like, man, I was just tired of my dad, you know what I'm saying? It was like a relaxation, My mom was just more lenient, right? She let me run around in the streets, let me come back late, stay over, you know what I'm saying, somewhere, stuff like that, man, right? Where, you learn some street smarts and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Because, you can be too coddled, right? And you see people who are like that, right? Like they was raised safe and coddled like their whole life, and then they get out here in the real world and they can't even deal with any like adversity or confrontation or anything like that. You feel me? Or don't know how to move around, So, anyways, man. So like I got that from my mom, man. I got that like how to stretch things. You know what I'm saying? How to make it work. You know what I'm saying? How to penny pitch, like all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I learned from her, man. But yeah, so. Like I said, man, she had a house at the time. She was always moving, so like either getting evicted or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She did that quite a bit, man. I lost a lot of possessions during that. So like varsity letters and medals and all that stuff. Like I ain't got none of it on my surface. Like the accomplishments and all of that, like I don't have none of those because they all got lost in, in the transition. Yeah, in the transition, bro.
With dad growing up, I know everything kind of came to like a climax when you were a junior and you was finally like, fuck it. But all throughout your life, what was the experience like for you with this power and control dynamic And looking back, if you were able to take a seat as an observer instead of the person experiencing it firsthand, what are some things that you observed about yourself living with your dad?
Just like the difference. It was more strict. Like it was a code of conduct to follow, you know, like that. And I think that's kind of like the main difference, man. But also like it wasn't not easy to like talk to, right? Like so you're always overruled, right? Hard to like never admit when he's wrong. Never like it's never that like sit down and had this conversation with you. You know, it was never that. It was my way to, you know, highway. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, well, my mom, like, you know, I enjoy conversations with her. You know, she put me onto the different stuff. Like, my dad, he watched sports a lot because he would bet on games and stuff. So, my mom, she watched sports. He watched was like football, basketball, baseball at times, like even hockey and stuff. He would bet on that stuff. So that's how I got into watching that stuff. My mom, she was always watching, you know, CNN, CNBC, tennis, golf, right? So I got into that, like just different, like, you know, perspectives and things. Ice skating, figure skating. She loved that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I watch it with her, you know? And so I think I get my more like intricate like side from her, right? A more down to earth side, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And more openness and thinking, you know what I'm saying? From her, you know? Yeah.
Being a kid, not being able to really express yourself, not really being able to talk with your pops and things like that, what impact did that have on you?
I think that being able to release emotions like in the best way, right? Like you get what you get, like you learn from, and so learning how he deals with me in these situations, right? Well, that's how I deal with him then, right? So, I think that it made me just as stubborn, right? As later on, just not really believing that is worth, like it's real to like have those kind of conversations, right? You feel like it's almost like cheesy or fake, like it's on TV. They can sit down and like have a heart to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't do that in real life. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to have heart to hearts. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to talk things out, man. You know what I mean? Like they want to, you know, run off and then, you know, talk bad about you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But you know.
Were there ever points in time where you found yourself struggling with anger, struggling with sadness, struggling with, like you said, just being able to release your emotions in a healthy way? This video right here is your sign going into 2026 that it's time for you to book your therapy appointment. We're not pushing it off no more. We're not acting like everything is good. We're ready for real change, real improvement, and real abundance to come into our life. And the first step is making sure you take care of this thing right here. And how you gonna do that? You're gonna click the link that's either down here or up here. You're gonna fill out the form, okay? You're gonna wait for us to give you a call, which it should happen in 24 to 48 hours. And you're gonna lock in with a therapist and start to gain that mental and emotional clarity that you've been looking for, so that every last blessing that you done prayed on and every last goal that you're hoping to start in 2026, it actually comes to fruition. Now, listen, this is not no guarantee that we are going to make everything happen for you, but what I can tell you is that if you got this, the likelihood of you achieving the things that you're telling yourself and all your homies and all your homegirls right now that you want to achieve, the likelihood, it just went up drastically. So let's take this step. Let's book our appointment. Let's get it locked in. and let's start 2026 strong at Bear Company Counseling. Let's get right, and I'll see you on the other side.
I got out the house. I think like you know your capacity, right? And there's some things like drive you like to act a certain way. Like, man, sometimes you gotta get out those environments, you know? Like, I did it, man. Like I didn't know what I was doing, but I just know I need to get out of that, right? Yeah, I know I need to get out of that because it was best for me. Man, I'm getting upset over here, you know? Like, I mean, it's a different kind of upset. Like, we can't even talk it out, you know? Like, there's no like, you're not respecting, I'm getting older, growing, like, you're not breaking down, like, oh, you know, it's perfectly natural that this age you're gonna feel like this, but this, you know, like, when we had those kind of, you know what I'm saying? You had that kind of thing, you know? So I don't feel like I like carried around like an anger or anything like that. I felt like I just started doing things like hanging out with friends, you know what I'm saying? Like smoking weed and, you know, like, just living, you know? I didn't feel like I had nothing to be mad, you know? Like, I wasn't mad. Like, yeah, I resented him, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't really checking on me after I left, you know? But he would call me now and then, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, that was that. But, man, like, I wasn't carrying around, like, anger, though, you know? Mm-hmm. But after he passed, I realized that I was mad at him, though. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have a lot of conversations that, you know, that I would love to have had probably from him, you know, that could have helped guided me more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
what age were you when he passed away?
I was 13 years ago, because my daughter's 13. So I was 28, probably, 27, 28. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. 27, I was 27, yeah. And so, yeah.
What did those in-between years look like between 16, 17, and 27, 28 with you and your dad's relationship?
I became a man on my own, you know? Like, no advice on parenting. You know, I got this kid coming. You know, after I bet up the nerve to even tell him, you know, it wasn't like it was like, oh, you know, every time make sure, you know, you bring that boy over here, and like, ain't like he bought him shit, you know, like he bought him, you know what I'm saying? Like he bought him stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, but he didn't buy nothing, he didn't buy him nothing, you know? And so, like I said, man, we just had a distant relationship, and you get comfortable with people not being in your life like that. So you grow up without them in your life like that, you know? And like, my other siblings maintain a good relationship with them. They'll go see him and things like that, you know? But ours was just strained, man, you know? But as I got to the 26, 27, like, you know, when I got to my 20s, like, I wasn't holding on to that, you know what I'm saying? I was, you know, go see him. But again, like, you get used to just people not being in your life, so it wasn't a priority for me to go see my dad 3 days or see him every day like my other siblings were. You know what I'm saying? It was just some kind of unattachment there. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't look back at it and be like, oh man, I should have been there more. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that things went. But I think that we got to a point. I would go see him, go visit him. You know what I'm saying? Bring my son over there. We got to a point, you know, where we're okay. I was there when he got remarried, right? Look at it, man. I was crazy. I never seen my dad so vulnerable in my life, you know? And, you know, I had to make sure he was straight, you know, I said before he went out there, you know? Yeah. But look, man, my dad was a cool dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I love that dude to death, man. And, you know, I miss hooping with him, you know what I'm saying, in the backyard. And, you know, just all the little things, man. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting on the edge of the couch or the edge of the bed, you know what I'm saying, while he's watching sports and he's just sitting there with his legs crossed, you know what I'm saying? And just want to just be around him and stuff like that. You know, I remember all that.
On a certain level, your dad sounds like a resilient man, and one who, and this is an assumption, one who has been through a lot and is trying to make sure that his kids don't have to go through some of the same things, and not necessarily opening his kids up to that world of what he went through or the world of the things that he had to overcome, but instead setting up this structure and this rigidity that ultimately during your childhood created some distance and separation. And so I guess my question for you is, how do you think your life would have ended up? Let's play the what if game.
All right, man, I'll partake.
Yeah.
I don't really play it, but all right.
Facts.
Go ahead.
How do you think your life would have ended up if you didn't have that structure from your dad in the capacity that you did? And let's say you were full force with the leniency of what your mom's crib allowed.
I think that I probably just ended up like just caught up in the streets more. My dad tried to he wanted to make sure that's something we weren't about to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, I think he was just trying to keep us safe. You feel me? And so I think that I could have probably just been a victim to just something random, you know, stray, crossfire, being at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? What happened? We used to have to run from stuff, man, down my grandparents' stayed at. You out too late, man. You hearing shots and stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, you can just get shot just sitting in your house. A random bullet just come through, you know. So, not saying that like that's the environment my mom had me in, but well, you know, those kind of neighborhoods we lived in. You know what I'm saying? When I lived with her, you know what I'm saying? Up until when I moved in with her in junior high, and then she was in the Underwood Tower. So that was just for low income. So it was in Underwood, Dundee, so safe neighborhood.
That was a different environment
Neighborhood,
right there.
dog. I loved it there, man. You can walk around outside and, you know, I liked it there. Yeah.
So at 16, you move in with your mom. Y'all move over to Underwood Tower. What about your life and the things that you have been exposed to began to change?
Resources. Yeah. So, square footage, a bedroom, a bed, knowing that you were going to get school clothes or Christmas gifts from your parent, you know what I'm saying? You know, just like those kind of like luxuries that you don't take for granted, but you know, those are just essentials, man, for a healthy environment, right? For a kid that's growing up, mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like trying to be focused on being a student athlete, you know what I mean? So that's what that was, man. So, you know, I went from having a bedroom, having a bed, man, to sleeping on the couch. And me and my brother rotating couches because one was longer than the other, right? Like, that's how I got up and went to school. That's how I went to bed, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, like, privacy, you know, we're just up on each other, you know what I'm saying? My mom always had cable, though, you know, so I always could watch TV or listen to stuff, man, just get used to it. But, like, man, just being able to eat whenever you want to, right? Like, you know, my dad always had the cabinets was stocked with, you know what I'm saying, stuff. So you get, you know, open up a can, think of summer. There's always on some lunch meat, always like leftovers, always something, you know what I'm saying? Always just like, you know, no problem, you know, eat some cereal, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Make you something. But my mom, like, and like, I'll never paint a bad picture of like, you know, my mom were like, or my teacher act like I was like the worst, you know what I'm saying? I'm just only describing just like what it was like, you feel me? And so no, it wasn't always like, you know, trying to wait till later to eat. You know what I'm saying? Till Jerry hustled enough and then went and got some groceries and brought some food and then my mom cooked. You know what I'm saying? Eat, you feel me? You know, so like that's how I was. So I would hang out with you know, like friends and stuff that like had a better household. You know what I'm saying? Have food and just hang out with them, you know, eat on their snacks and stuff. And, you know what I'm saying? Their moms was cool. And I think that they just understood, you know, so they welcome me in their houses and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, looked out for me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't realize stuff because people are nice to you along the way, or they understand and they, you know, look out. So sometimes you don't really know what situation you're in. You get older, then you're like, damn, Charles and the test shit was wild, bro. I get through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my mom always did good on like never being like saying what it is. You know what I'm saying? She did her best. You feel me? She did her best, man. If I'm like, hey, mom, I'm trying to go to the movies this weekend. I let her know ahead of time. And she gonna let Jerry know, and Jerry gonna go out there and sell some tires. Jerry, that was her life partner.
Gotcha.
Jerry's the guy that, listen, this is the only other guy my mom introduced me to after she divorced my dad. I was like 9. Jerry, that was her life partner. She seen him die. You know what I'm saying? Then she died a couple years after he did. You know what I'm saying? He died in my grandparents' house because my mom took over that house. She lived there after they died. She entered the house, so she stayed there. And then Jerry moved in with her. And Jerry's having health issues, and she died. She found him in the bathroom dead, you know what I'm saying? So, but Jerry, man, you know, shout out to him, man. Like, I don't call him a stepfather or anything like that. But, you know what I'm saying, I had a lot of respect for him because he was there a lot, you know? Just like to just help me be a kid, you know what I'm saying? To be able to go to the movies or go to the mall or, you know, hang out. Like, you know, you need $10. At the time, you need like 10, 15, 20. If you're gonna go to the mall, you need enough to like get something to eat, you know what I'm saying? Play some games at the
tilt.
Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he used to make sure, you know, he could do that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I feel that. Fast forward to your senior year, bro, and you're doing sports, you pushing with your athletics, and then you find out your girl's pregnant.
Yeah.
How did that shake up your world? And what was the relationship even like? Was this just somebody you was just fucking with off the cuff, or was this somebody at the time you felt like was the love of your life and we about to make it happen?
You know, I'm gonna be careful with this because my son's on social media, right?
Oh, facts.
And you know, they've never asked me that question about their mom, but I've, you know,
respectfully.
I don't know how in depth I went with it, but I tell you this right now. I was with their mom for like a few months before she got pregnant, so we were into each other. You know what I'm saying? But just wasn't being protective. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But that's another. I feel like another layer to peel back, right? Like responsibility, and focused, right? Like I'm not in school at that time. I'm hanging out, partying, like the mindset, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is like, rather than me having my ass in school, focused on the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right? Mm-hmm. And like, I tell my son all the time, like, you know, how he came. So I just tell him, like, you know, as a young and him and with his girlfriend now, like, you know, just, you know what I'm saying? Stay focused on your, you know what I'm saying? On what you need to do, you know, for your striving kids. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't want to be a grandparent or anything like that, but it's like, man, you ain't gonna go through what, you know. Just depend on what decision you make, right? That's the door you gotta go through. And you gotta, and that's the only hall you get to walk through. And so you have to just deal with everything that comes with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't sit and be like, well, if I went through that door, well, I did this, so this is the only door I can go through, right? And so, so with her, like 3 months and baby came in, like, man, we stayed together, man, trying to make it work, dog. You know what I'm saying? All until his brother came, Raleigh. So after five years, right? So about the 5-year mark is where things just got, where we just kind of just fell out. You know
What was the
I'm saying?
first 4 years like?
So first 4 years is just, you know, figuring out, man, growing together, man, you know, being there for this kid, being there for her because she needed to finish school, you know what I'm saying? And then I needed to, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I think it's just making sacrifices, man, just making sure that we're putting ourselves in the best situation to better take care of, you know what I'm saying, as kids. So me and her have always been cool. We still cool, co-parent, you know what I'm saying? So like, we've never had that like issue, you know what I'm saying? We're like, oh, I can't see my kids or anything like that and stuff like that, you know? She decided to move on. I think that, you know, I myself, you know, just made a lot of mistakes along the way, just not doing right by her. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so like that strained our relationship to begin with, you know. Period. You know.
Can we dive into that a little bit?
Dive into that?
Yeah.
Just not doing right by her?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I can, man. You know, put out there, man. Boy. I think just it's not thinking, man. I know this, man. It's commitment issues. And I have that, right? Where I've never locked in really in a relationship, man, right? Where like I knew how to like work through it, like stick through it. You know, things could like come to a point where I'm just like, okay, well, then it's over, right? Like, and when I say to a point, like we could have an argument, then it's over, right? You know what I'm saying? Like just with, but with her, I just felt like I just wasn't committed to her, man, bro. You know, other women getting my, you know, attention, right? Or me making her feel like I'm putting, you know what I'm saying, other women before her and things like that. Like I just wasn't intentional enough, you know what I'm saying, with this. So I don't think she felt like I was in it like that. And I know I wasn't, man. I was 1 foot in, one foot out. One, because like we had only been together 3 months, right? And so like I like her, but do I like, was this out of love, right? And then you think about forever, and like, oh, this, you know, like those kind of things that are like kind of scary a little bit from like committing to somebody, man. Because you always thinking like there's something else out there or something better out there. Or like, you know, you ain't seeing what else is out there. Man, it's a silly way of thinking, bro. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But like, you know, unfortunately, man, it was my way of thinking, right? And some of that, man, though, I still wrestle with today. You know what I'm saying? Just like not being able to just fully commit, you know? And can I say like, well, have I really seen that? Like, I don't know. Like I didn't see my parents together like that, bro. I never seen them love on each other. I never seen them work through nothing. I saw them like not like each other anymore. Or my dad and I wanted to be in a relationship anymore, and then it was over, you know? Right? And so I'm not making up any excuses and stuff, man. It's an ugly side, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, stuff to unpack, like that you know, you say like, damn, man, like, you know, what's up with that, right? You know, some parts of yourself are just kind of ugly, man, just like, you know. But, you know, what I'm learning, man, just don't put yourself in those situations or environments to where you're being tempted and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying?
I think at times that's hard, though. It's hard not to, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that you mentioned early on was we're products of our environment.
Yeah.
And so as we're literally just maneuvering with what our environment has gave to us. I think about like, I used to play Super Mario back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? You play Super Mario and you go through the level, you hit the little checkpoint, and then you hit the final one,
Yeah.
you know, at the end, and you play through it and you get through the boss levels and so on and so forth. But whole time there's all these like hidden things that you don't even know about. You know, I remember I forget how old I was, bro, But the internet was around. There was a website called Cheap Planet. If you know anything
Called
about
what?
that. Cheap Planet.
That's it.
Bro, it had all the cheats, bro. It showed you everything.
All the cheat codes.
All the cheat
Okay, nah, I
codes,
know
all
about
like
that.
the little side missions, all of that. And I remember I found that, and I found so much stuff that I could have did on Mario that I didn't even know was possible. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was possible. And I think our lives are like that too. Like it's so much shit in our lives that we don't even know it's possible, but we maneuver it based off of the exposure that was given to us. And at that time, like, no different. I remember I beat Bowser. I'm like, nigga, I did it. Shit, game over. Like, cool. Nigga died. You know what I'm saying? And so a follow-up question that I have for you, one of the things you mentioned was like, you know, I was trying to love, and this concept of love, we're shown what love is early on. And so for you, as you're in this relationship with your first kid's mom, what did love mean for you, and like how are you trying to show that?
I don't know what love looked like, man. I'm honest, I don't. And do I think that I was loving her? No. I think that I think that we were being responsible for what happened, right? And I know there's responsibilities, and I think we were taking care of our responsibilities, right? I think, yeah, she showed me love by grace and her commitment to me, right? And I showed her love as well too by my commitment to her, right? Through living out these responsibilities, right? I'm gonna hold my end up, right? I'll make sure I do as well as I can, you know what I'm saying? And be here, right, for you. But man, I wasn't there emotionally though. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there emotionally, man. And like now I'm coming, like learning these terms and stuff these days now, right? Emotional awareness and emotionally mature and like being there. Emotionally, like you think it's all one thing. I'm here, right? You know, and so, man, yeah, I think I might have lost track of what I was saying.
No, you good.
Okay.
It's almost like on a certain level,
Yeah.
the love that you showed to her was the exact same love that your dad showed to you. Your dad always made sure y'all had food, took care of you, like physical needs, space, made sure you had, but the emotional connection was never really present. It was a commitment to uphold supplying you with the things you needed, but anything past that was void.
Man, mine was always somewhere else, man. Right? Like, just not being present in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to be in these other places, man. Be out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know, man, you got something at home, just like build on that. Like, figure out how y'all about to build together. I wasn't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think about, oh man, think about, hanging out, man.
Could you blame yourself though?
Getting girls and stuff, huh?
Could you blame yourself?
Could I blame myself? Nah, man. Yeah, I can blame myself. Hell yeah.
How though? From what I hear from you, bro, it's like,
man,
could a builder build a building if the blueprints said to build a motherfucking shed?
Yeah, I just think man. You're right, man. Bro, the foundations wasn't, you know what I'm saying, wasn't there. And I'm gonna just keep it all the way funky, man. Like I didn't feel like that was my forever person, And at some point in a relationship with somebody, I'll come to that term. So how far am I supposed to take this if I know that we ain't gonna be forever? So then I'm supposed to like keep pouring in this love that's gonna make you think that it is? I'm doing you a disservice and I'm being fake. I'm not being real. It's hard for me to fake emotions, man, fake feelings. So you're gonna think something's up, and you're just gonna like eventually be like, oh damn, right? because I'm being aware, like, and I don't want to like mislead you to thinking we forever. Like, we can be in our moment, our time now, and that's all we need to be focused on. You know, unless I'm like, all right, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, work through this and figure out like, how do I know if this is that it's my forever person, right? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What are those signs? Like, what are the things that you got to compromise? The thing that's going to piss you off that you're going to like let go. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because me, man, I've been a like, nah, man, cut you off quick. You know, right? And like I was like that when I was like my early days, but I mean, it could be one defining moment where it's just like, okay, well, we're done. But like, I could have like let that go. You know what I'm saying? I could be like, all right, man, this is how she is. She in a funky mood right now. All right, you know what? Let's take like 10 minutes apart, you know, come back, you know. Or me just understand what I did, you know, wrong and stuff like that, man. You know, so.
Are there situations because of your pride and because you couldn't let it go that you fucked off that actually could have been something good?
Yeah, man. I'm like when I start to resent, you know what I'm saying? When I start to resent you, it's just that it, man. Like, you know. And so, but I don't look back and be like, man, like, oh man, like it's not one person I like miss like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I sit there and think about, oh, what could have went right, you know? I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about people all the time that I've been involved with, had relationships with, you know, the ones that left the impact. You don't remember everybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't. You know, but you do remember the ones that you know, had moments with and the ones that you really felt the way about, you know? And
Who's
so,
one that you had like strong feelings with without naming names? 'Cause I don't want to get messy like that.
Yeah.
But just like describe what that relationship was like and the fall off from it. Shout out J. Cole. Next album.
Man, boy. It would have to be early on, because I think that's when I most felt my purity and wasn't tainted by experiences with women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll say like the girlfriend I had my junior and senior year, right? And it was one of those things where like I didn't think about the women like that. I didn't care. Like I wanted her. It was all about her. You know what I'm saying? Just liked everything about her. Liked spending time with her. Wanted to be around her. It was, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a real journey. I really liked her. And I didn't have, you know, all these worldly things, you know what I'm saying, to like, to like pull away, right? Like I said, I mean, I was able to just be in a moment, right? I think about other stuff. I gotta be here. Oh, this happened. This is. I wasn't in, you know. I wouldn't think about clubs. Obviously, think about the bars. Obviously, I wasn't like. That just wasn't the mindset. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I was at, you know, a real genuine place, man, where I really had real feelings, and it was just like uninterrupted. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we had a good time, man. Man, we had a good time, dog. You know what I'm saying? We had like little cute stuff, man, like Lilo and Stitch, and like, but we moved apart. She moved to go live with relatives in another state, and that like separated us, right? So she ended up getting into the military and stuff. So, you know, she went on with her life. I still had to finish up school. You know what I'm saying? So is that where like she's going to school, right? She's off to, you know, somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I can't do long distance relationships ain't gonna work out well with me. Mm-hmm. You know? Now, but then I was willing to buy in. But what was the the things that, the communication got shoddy, man. So like, obviously like she's occupied with something else, man. You know what I'm saying? She got a new friend out there that she claimed was just a friend. They started hanging out a lot and stuff like that. So you know how that goes, bro. You know what I mean? So I ended up being the nigga that she was, you know what I'm saying, start fucking with out there. And she didn't tell me at the time, though. She was just lying to me and shit. But she had been lying to me anyways. You know what I mean? Because after we was done, we just had an open conversation and about like cheating or whatever. And I made it seem like I did this for, I don't know, man, because she did a couple times, dog. And so I had to be like, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but man, I trusted her, bro. So I was the first girl to like play me. You know what I'm saying? First girl to play me. And man, it kind of created a, you know what I'm saying? Kind of created a dog. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you, create a dog is just like, shoot, man. I just had trust issues from that point. And I think it's the number one thing about me with any relationship, but it's just trust issues at this point. Like, because that's not the only situation where like, I got played. You know what I'm saying? I've been played by, say my baby mom played. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get played, man. You feel me? Right? I done played too, though. You know what I'm saying? So I can't like I ain't, But I got played first. Yo, you played me, bro.
I ain't start the shit.
I ain't start the shit, bro. I ain't start the shit, man. So nah, bro. Like, nah, man. I can't trust like, oh, he's just my friend and y'all like hanging out doing athletic shit and sports shit together and all that kind of shit. Man, nah, I ain't buying that shit no more. Like, it's just some shit I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna go for now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Man. So this girlfriend that you had at that time, it almost seems like, just kind of piecing together the things that were going on in life, 16, 17, she was almost like an escape for you. An escape from the reality that you had to live, especially while you were living with your dad and then transitioning to your mom and a lot of the things that were going on. And I know you don't demonize your mom, but her just struggling with alcohol, her being gone, her like just like that whole thing, it was almost like that deepened, and I'm gonna use this word, it deepened the dependency in the relationship where it's like, this is my person.
Now you talking. You're right. Man, you're right. During that moment, I was dating her when I was a junior in high school. So going through that whole thing, she had a car. She would come pick me up. You feel me? I got like, she'd come pick me up, and you're right. Like, I had nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like school and like sports and stuff, but like she was my outlet, man. That was my dog. And she'd pick me up, and I tell you what, like my senior year, she was out of school. She'd come pick me up. No, my junior year, actually, I'm lying. My junior year. Also, I was dating her because I went back to my dad's house for a little bit, and I remember I had her pick me up. You know what I'm saying? From there, because I went back and we just got into a dog again. And it was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? It got physical and stuff like that. Like, I ain't put my hands on my dad, but he kept like pushing me. He was trying to close the dorm. That's what he was doing. He was trying to close his bedroom door. He didn't want to talk to me, man. He would not talk to me, dog. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to close the door on me. Like, man, I pushed the door open. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it was really aggressive though. And he had this thing where he called the cops on me before, and police try to come and try to tell you how to be like, y'all can't tell me how to be at home. You know what I'm saying? So he tried doing that again, and I took the phone, I was wilding, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting in that basement. I remember, Reggie and I was sitting in the basement. I remember Reggie and Wayne they come running down the stairs, trying to come check me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, get out my face with that stuff, man. Like, come on, dog. Like, I don't even know what's going on. But anyways, though, back to old girl, man. So I had to come. She would come pick me up. You know what I'm saying? And so you're right, man. Like during that period, she was, man. That was my getaway, man. My outlet, though. That was my dog, man. We did a lot of stuff together, man. But she was right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do you think that, and this is an assumption, and I don't have a lot of information on this, so that's what I'm saying. It's a real assumption, and I want to see if it goes anywhere. Do you think that created a dependence in some way, shape, form, or fashion to women during that time? And it might not be like, when I say dependence, I don't necessarily mean like monetarily, like not financial things like that. But
No. Yeah. Yep. And so I think that yes. I think that, yes. That same thing led to, it bled into a relationship with the boys of mine, right? And I tell you, man, like you don't know, but you're in survival mode. I was in survival mode, right? And it wasn't like, it was like, this just feels better than real life, all right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I like you, you know what I'm saying? But like, I get to have these better experiences, right? Like with you. And so like, when I met their mom, like, I met her at the mall. She was working at the mall. And so my friends would hang out, we go to the mall. He knew a girl that was working at the same place, and that's how I met her. Then we end up like, hanging, going to the party, hanging out, and then the rest is history, you know what I'm saying? We known her ever since, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Kicking it, so, but yeah, man, like she was in school. She lived in the dorms at UNO. Where am I? Oh, I'm in one of the apartments over off of Hamilton now because of my mom.
yeah.
Halfway through senior year, bro, she just moved. I ain't know. Bro, this is right before prom too. I'm gonna tell you this, how fucked up this was. So she didn't even tell me. So I used to collect basketball cards. I had Kobe's, Jordans, like rookie cards.
Shit that would have been worth.
Fam. My sixth grade teacher gave me his like Clyde Frazier's and like, you understand? Like
Yeah.
I had Dr. J's, Brad. I had
I already know
like,
what this story about. No.
I had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but like this is shit I had, man. Earl Monroe, like, dude, I had these cards, man. And man, she just moved while I was at school, bro. I left all my personal stuff. Left all my medals, left my cards, all my stuff, dog. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get it back. I couldn't get it, But anyways, man, when she moved, we ain't had no phone. And I remember, and this is a side story. So my friend at the time asked me to go to prom, and I should have just told her like I didn't want to go, but I felt pressured to go. Her sister and her friend was outside my locker like Pac and Juice. Remember when all my clothes is locker? They was right there like, yo, you going with it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I really wanted to go with the other girl. She wanted to go with me too, but anyway, so man, but the crazy thing is she still held this resentment to me because she thought that I stood her up, but I didn't. My mom had moved right at the time, so our phone hadn't gotten connected. Prom was on Saturday that day. I told her like, I'm going to call you when I'm on my way. My cousin was running late because I was rolling with him. Amon Green was his cousin, so Amon Green had a shop here, and so he had got Amon Green like one of his whips. But was on some crazy dubs, you know what I'm saying? And Ashley was pimped out, so we rolling out. We was gonna pick her up. We go to her house.
Midwest Customs.
Yeah.
Midwest Customs.
Yeah, exactly. So he finally get me. He get me late. You know what I'm saying? So we go to. Remember, I can't call her because I ain't got no phone. I told her I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna get you. We going.
Damn.
Well, I'm late. Her sisters and her friend make her think that I stood her up. So she ride with them to the prom. We go to her house. She not there. I already know what kind of time it's gonna be when I get to the prom. Everybody looking at me like, yo, you foul. I was like, nah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so still pay for, we still went to dinner, still pay for dinner afterwards. And we went to the after prom, you know what I'm saying? Kicked it. I didn't know that like years later, she was like holding that against me. Like she like that I stood her up for prom. So anyways though, so like I said, man, that happened when my mind moved. So I was living in Walnut Hills apartment at that time. And so when I met my baby mama, like you know, I'm in another one bedroom, you know what I'm saying? It's my brother. It was a nice like escape, you know what I'm saying? Like to hang out with her. You know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't gotta be here, but I liked her though. You know what I'm saying? But it's still nice to escape. And that's like, you know, again, like that's when you just, you know, just genuinely like somebody, you know what I'm saying? I liked her. You know what I'm saying? I like spending time with her. And so, you know, she had a car, right? That's always like a plus. I ain't no car. You know what I'm saying? She come pick me up, go roll around and shit. Man, you look back at it and it's like, it's that nigga shit in survival mode shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? You look back at it. You know what I mean? It's like weak nigga shit sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look back at it, bro. Nigga did some weak ass shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Was a weak nigga for a period of time. Period. You know? But with her, no, it wasn't that. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I'm about to eat them. Not at all. Like we liked each other, man. You know what I'm saying? And we kicked it and then we ended up having a baby though. But I'm saying though, like, I was still in the survival mode and wasn't aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Which allowed me to like stay over her place excessively. You know what I'm saying? To where like that situation can't even happen to where she do, you know what I'm saying, do get pregnant. You feel me? Now had I been in a better environment, man, I'm stay might not be. But I'm over there because it's more comfortable to sleep in a bed with her than sleep on my fucking couch at my mom's. Huh? Okay. You feel me? So, you know, so it's just that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In between all of this, where does artistry and music come into play? How did you start to, I mean, most niggas start tapping in with music as a form of expression, but I'm curious for you, like where did it really start to show itself?
So in high school, so my twin brother, man, he was a rapper, and him and some other cats like Fast Black, he used to rap with, and other cats, man, that was, you know what I'm saying, nice. But we was always in the hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always in the music the whole time. Like when I'm bumping in my headphones before I go race, you know what I'm saying, or go hoop, or like that's how I got ready for it. But I was always on some like Common, Most Def, like Jay-Z, Wu-Tang, like or some like West Coast hip hop. And so it was, you know, it's in me, man. So like it's always like, you know, kick rhymes and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? You do that stuff. But my brother wanted to take it more serious, man. So like we had heard about Jonesy's Battles. Houston Alexander was hosting the Jonesy's Battles, and it was off of the Jonesy's Taco, and it was off of like Maple Street, like 70, like 8th, maybe like 84th.
Where that QT is, right across from
Yep, over there.
where Luffy's at first was at, the first Luffy's, right?
That catfish place?
Yeah, the catfish. So what it used to be?
You go west?
Was it was a Sizzler over there or something like that before too?
It was over to the left.
Yeah, but that same,
It's on the right side. Yeah. Yep, over there. And so we'll go on Tuesdays and watch the rap battles. And then my brother got in there. Man, I didn't realize how cold my brother was. Yeah, Julian. Yeah. Cold, bro. One of the coldest, man. Nice. Dead ass, man. One of the nicest, man. So he got in there and he started winning, man. You know what I'm saying? He started winning, bro. And so he joined Houston Alexander's music crew called Hustle Music. It's before Houston started doing UFC fighting and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they called him Strong Arm because he would go to the Strong Arm, you know, to squat onto the show, you know, to the bill, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my role was like, I was sitting at the apartment, him writing rhymes, him Fast Black, just writing, you know, just writing, him listening to instrumentals, same beat over and over, writing, over and over, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting there, the brothers don't like watching TV or whatever. I'm just like there, you know, we're hitting the blunt, we passing around. I'm in there. But I wasn't like, I didn't say this is what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just, you know what I'm saying, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Figuring that out. I hadn't decided yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, you know, I'm gonna make beats for these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, because I didn't necessarily want to rap. Maybe I did want to rap. Just like I wanted to play running back, man. But I played receiver and then quarterback. Always wanted to just be a running back, man. You feel me? So, I think that was my way of being like, I ain't doing what you doing, so I'm gonna just do the beats, right? Because that's always the thing. You don't want to do it, right? You don't want to be like me. You trying to be like me. You trying to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I hate that shit. You know, and that's just stuff that when you're younger, it's like, who cares, man?
Yeah,
It's
just
what
do
I'm
what
doing
you
and
want to do. Yeah.
Do it. Fuck cares, man. Someone else is doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, just make sure you love that shit and you kill that shit when you do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened, man. Like, all right, you know, I'm gonna make beats for these guys. So me and my baby mama, we moved into our first place together because we had separate places at first. So, and then we moved in together. And so we was living off of Fort Street, like 9th and Fort, 99th and Fort over there.
Candle Tree.
Huh?
Candle Tree.
Grand Ridge.
Grand Ridge. Yeah.
Right over there. Yep. And so he at that time left to go to college, and so he was going to Wayne State. Him and my brother, they both went to Wayne State.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm here. So like I'm going through like I went to, you know, I left and went to JUCO for that year, right? And so, you know, I would come back periodically, and while I was out there, like, I would do things like, I had a homie out there, we and him used to rap all the time, so we always like freestyling, or we like doing like ciphers at like the club where, you know what I'm saying, you know, you got your college nights, you know what I'm saying, we used to go try to shut shit down, you know what I'm saying? You know me, you ran that town, dog. So like I feel like I got my confidence up there, was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like rapping wise, man. So, but I wasn't like dedicated to them making the beats. 'Cause I'm still trying to figure out this football shit. You feel me? Right? Like, but I'm still like, you know what I'm saying, nice. We're like on the campus, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know if we at that party, like the cypher going down, and you know what I'm saying, they know it's, you know, me and Tony. You know what I'm saying?
Up.
Yeah, you know, yeah, for sure. And so I feel like I got, you know what I'm saying, like, and more confidence that way. But anyways, before that though, hey, even before I left to go to college, bro, like the parties, man, when I was partying before, man, house parties, bro, killing somebody's ear, you know what I'm saying? Just rapping it off, you know? So, but like I was just trying to figure out, man, you know, which route I was gonna take, dog. Once I knew football wasn't it anymore, when I transferred to UNO, then that's what I invested in. I really invested into the equipment, right? I really invested into the equipment. Well, I mean, like computer, Pro Tools, microphone. Like, I'm dead serious right now. Studio setup, bought a booth. You know what I'm saying? Like, put like five grand in there, huh?
Refund check.
Yep,
Yeah.
refund check. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey man, you can make some good investments with them things, man.
Hey, some people don't.
Yeah.
Like, they blow it, and
They blow it.
it's like, that's the easiest way to get ahead. If you in school, I don't always recommend using your refund check if you don't got to. But if you got a passion and you serious about it, instead of blowing it on just a TV, some J's, some clothes, some Nike Tech.
When else you gonna get that kind of lump sum
At once.
to invest at once? You feel me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm like, nah, instead of going and buying, like, you know, like you saying, buy, you know, just like splurging, I'm like, nah, I'm about to buy this iMac, I'm about to buy these Pro Tools, I'm about to get this computer, I'm about to order this this ISO boot, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And so from that point, man, you just got to put in your 10,000 hours, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, I was locked in at that point, man, saying to be a beast on doing beats, you know what I'm saying? But I was influenced by beat makers and rappers.
Yeah.
Like Jay Dilla, he made the beat and rap. Kanye made the beat and rap. Pete Rock made the beat and rap. Ninth Wonder, he was nice on the beats, you know what I'm saying? I love, you know, Lil Brother. But, you know, like that. And like I said, like this, right? Like all around, like even like in basketball, like I care about feeling the stat sheet, right? Like I'm an all around player, so I feel like that even with music, like I couldn't just rap. Like I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? Play both sides of the ball, you know what I'm saying? Like Travis, you know what I'm saying? Travis Hunter, you feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so bro, I found myself like skipping class, just kind of locked in making this beat, man, writing this song, you know? And I got on Mad Radio, and then I started like putting my stuff on Mad Radio just to see if anybody noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta test it out, man. Like my shit hot or not, you know? So, you know, from there, like just doing those little things, you know, I just built up my confidence. And then I remember I let my brother hear my demo, Teddy, and Teddy thought it was nice. All right. And then this guy was going to UNO with, damn, I forgot her name. But I hit off with the demo. She drove all back to her little town and shit. She texted me. She was like, I was like, okay. All right, cool. Yeah. You know, like, you gotta tell me I'm whack, bro. I suck. You know what I'm saying? No one told me that at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there wasn't ever me like where I was just met with immediate like dog, no, you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I kept working on it, man. Right?
What was the moment for you where you really felt like, all right, I'm making some shit with this music, with this producing?
Man, yeah, so right around when I decided to move to Arizona. So mind you, man, I was in and out of, bro, at UNO, I was on academic probation every other semester. Niggas just like, where's you at? Like, bro, I couldn't even come, nigga. Niggas see me 1 year, they don't see me again. Once they don't see me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And shout out to Mr. Clancy, I mentioned him earlier. Every time I came back, he'd be like, he'll call me the prodigal son. He called me the prodigal son, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, I had to look that up, like, damn, like that's kind of a low key, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro. So, and shout out to him, but man, he sufficed me so hard to get me back in the program and stuff like that. So, but I'm sorry, y'all. I had to bounce, man. So I left, you know, and I moved to Arizona to go to the conservatory. At that point, like, I already started like putting demos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, testing the waters and stuff. So I felt like I just needed to just tighten up. I need to know what the compressor meant, the EQ, but also I want to build skills in those areas in the industry so I can make myself. So I could use those tools to
marketable,
and that, you know, to be able to be outsourced and stuff like that, right? You know, be able to make money with the industry too. You know what I'm saying? So like, okay, if I know how to mix and master, I could do audio engineering, right? If I know these things, then I could, you know, you take it from there. I could run live sound. I could set up a studio anywhere, right? I could record. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you think about all these things so you can better make money off of yourself. So building your skills. So that was the thing I wanted to do the most was build my skills, right? So even when I went to UNO, dog, I took things like TV film production. I took theater. I took these things, right? So I can build my skills. So like I knew how to, you know, do things, man. So I would set up, film myself, do all my, you know, music videos and show other people videos, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you make some money. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I did, man. So I took my talents to Arizona, right? To the conservatory, boy. And from there, I felt like I was on my way because I moved away. I was on the West Coast. I'm like hours away from LA. I'm going to one of the top 3 audio engineer schools in the country, and you get an internship, right? The grad, you got to do one. So like I'm in there. So man, I went there, bro, and I put in the work, man. You know what I'm saying? Put in the work, dog. And got out of there, you know what I'm saying? But I did so much work in the studios, recording, like writing so much, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I worked through a lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot of rough spots, man, just getting better and just getting better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so just work, you know what I'm saying? Just a work in progress. But again, building myself up, man, right? And You know, you go about responsive stuff, man. Not everything gonna be like a hit, but I made good music. Man. My shit was soulful, man, and you know, and I made good content. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Like that was one thing. Like I make, you know, just learn how to make music, good music, right? So, bro, I was ready to go. So when I moved back from Arizona, it was go time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you started sharing stages with some big names. Talk about that a little bit.
I did. Yeah, like, it's funny, man. You grow up and you're inspired, like dudes like Black Milk. I don't know if you know what that is, right? From Detroit. Another beat maker rapper, right? Man, I was bumping the Tronic so hard. And it's crazy, like, this is how you know, like, you're not that, you're a person away, you know, an opportunity away. You know what I'm saying? But when you start landing things like, you get to open up for Black Milk, right? I think him, he probably was maybe the first, it was B-Real from Cypress Hill was probably the first, you know what I'm saying? Like bigger name guy I got to share the stage with. And then Black Milk, then Freddie Gibbs, right? Like that Freddie Gibbs, I was like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Cause we had that bit packed out at the Slowdown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Flamboyant Guys, me and my guy Mars Black, we had just dropped this project. And so, you know what I'm saying? We performed that. It was crazy, you know? And, you know, from there, you just like, you think like that artist is gonna care about your set. They're actually gonna like watch it and like, you know, and then like, if they dig it, then they're gonna like fuck with you, like, you know, or like that. Them niggas be locked in their own green room and shit. Niggas come out when it's time for them to perform. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but Black Milk was cool as hell, man. So got to chop it up with him at that time. Before like podcasting and blogging became real cool, I was doing video series. So if you look on my YouTube and you just go back, you really scroll, you'll see like I was doing like shows, segment stuff. So I had this thing called How You Living, right? And me and my guy Zoe, we would do interviews with artists that came through on tour that we play with. You know what I'm saying? So Black Milk was one of them. That video's up on YouTube, you know what I mean? So I interviewed him after the show, chopped up with him and stuff like that. Real cool dude, you know? So let's see, Black Milk, B-Real, Freddie Gibbs. Man, I remember then I'm gonna forget some names, man. You feel me? But when I remember then I opened up for Clear Soul Forces, right? I don't know if you know what Clear Soul Forces is. Clear Soul Forces had this joint, It Gets No Better, it was a hit. They did it over a Can Kid beat. And who's like a legend, you know what I'm saying, beat maker, right? And so like this blew up on YouTube or whatever, and they was on tour, right? And then they came to Omaha, and I swear, me and my bro was like going crazy over and that's what I'm just saying, like, when you start meeting these people that you know what I'm saying? And that's how it's been, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I meet, you know, shouldn't be chilling, man. Like when I did a festival a summer ago, me and D-Smoke just chilling in the green room, you feel me? We were down there with dude, just, you know what I'm saying? Chopping up. So like, I now be in these rooms, in these spaces with these guys, you know what I'm saying? And it's just more human when you meet them. Everyone's just more human when you meet them, you know what I'm saying? And so, but man, things really took a turn though, man, when I did that show, Clear Soul Forces, and then they asked me to go, they actually cared about, you know what I'm saying? Actually cared about my set. They liked my shit and their manager liked me. So they invited me to do some shows with them. They invited me to do a show in Detroit where I got to meet Jay Dilla's daughter. You know what I'm saying? Dope. I played with Clear Soul Forces and with Kids in the Hall or the Cool Kids. Oh, I can't think who else the group was on, man. But they was on at the time too, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got to meet Jay Dilla's daughter, dog, in Detroit, man. It was super cool, man. Those are my guys, man, out there. So shout outs to the homies out there at Clear Soul Forces, man. I'm the homies though. But yeah, so they invited me, and then they invited me to play with them in at South by Southwest. to do a showcase with him. So I was going out there for Nebraska. No. I didn't even get invited to the Nebraska one until like the next year. So I went out there to play the showcase for Detroit and for there's 2 showcases I played out there. You know what I'm saying? So they invited me to come play there. And then another guy like myself, he invited me to play the next day. You know what I'm saying? Another place. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to feel good about yourself. Like, okay, I'm a white man. You know what I'm saying? These guys that's on getting the blogs, like I'm rolling with these cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was all good, man. So just built on my confidence stuff, man. So then the next year I went back to South by Southwest the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? With respectively with representing Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, those moments, you know what I'm saying? Like you just feel the growth because your opportunities, you know, are happening. And they don't happen if you ain't good, man. If you shit, like ain't no one give a fuck about giving you no opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it was all good, man. And so like then I started doing the festival circus, man. So playing with pop legends like Weezer, you know what I'm saying? Doing stuff with them. Snow the Product, Killer Mike, Vince Staples. I did a festival with BX The Plug last summer. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Right? So all good, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you measure your, you know, progress and where it's taking you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like all of this leads to this point where you was like, I need a space or a hub really to start honing in on my craft, start making my beats where I can start recording my stuff.
Yeah, that part.
And this was all around the pandemic time where you really started thinking about this.
You know what? No, 2 years before that.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years before that.
Run us through that real quick.
Yeah. So 2017, an opportunity came for me to activate space down on 24th Street. And activating space means you take a building that's unused and flip the lights on. You may need to paint the walls, right? Clean it up, and then just program, right? Just do things out of it, right? You know what I'm saying? And so the intention behind it was just to jumpstart the revitalization on North 24th Street by just bringing people down there, right? Bringing events, bringing something there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was desolate for a while.
That's what it was, yeah.
Hey.
Well, no, but one thing about 24th Street, like not like they is today. You know what I'm saying? Like we was right at the start of the concept of this Forever North 24th Street plan. You know, like I was there. I was in those rooms for it. Like I've been on 24th Street for a minute now. And it's a hotbed now. A lot of people are really into 24th Street, you know, particularly, you know, those areas down there. Like I said, man, like, hey, man, your boy was down there jump starting that shit, dog. You understand? Now it's the first culture house, right? And the project, the group was called The Study. That's just what we decided to call it, The Study. And it was like 6 of us incubating. So the idea was to take space and then incubate a business idea, right? So it was funded for a certain amount of time, right? 6 months. Then it wasn't funded anymore. But we was able to have 2 buildings, right? So half the people went to the other building and half in the building. So in the building I was in was just me and then Gerard Pafunk, who lives in New York now. He's a painter. And then Ariane Bird Williams, who's a basketball player and a painter as well too, both artists. So just us 3 in the building then, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, then I could do more where I wanted to. But when we first started as a study, I just had 1 room. And that's where I set up my studio, right? So that's where I was gonna record, you know, other people, you know what I'm saying, right? And it much felt like a Hot Shops at the time. I don't know if you've been to Hot Shops.
Downtown.
Oh, got the studio, you know, come look. We have open house, people come, you know. I didn't really know where that was going. So I was down there, you know what I'm saying, so often, but I felt it was crowded, so I went down there as much. But then when, you know, we got the access to other building, other people moved out of there, then it was more room, you know what I'm saying? And so I kind of took it more serious about the opportunity. Like, all right, yo, we got this 4,500 square building. Like, yo, let's get busy. You know what I'm saying? So we, you know, we programmed a lot in there in terms of like art shows, music shows, concerts. Like, you know, it's like, so every show I was in was there. When I played with my band, we played there. I was getting the who's the who, best of the, you know what I'm saying, artists to play there. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how we, you know, built that brand up. You know what I'm saying? Just like variety of events, right? And the name Culture House came about. Bird moved away to New Mexico, and it was just me and Gerard. Gerard didn't tell me he was moving. Then he told me later. Just signed the new lease. So they left me hanging. Like, yeah, I was hanging, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then this what got me into, you know what I'm saying, the mode, like the business mode, right? You know what I'm saying? So me and Gerard was just doing bullshitting. And then I was like, man, it's the Culture House, right? And from that point, we just spray painted it everywhere. You know, just came up with the spelling, CULXR, right? Just trying to, you know, I just want to do something unique with the spelling because I just felt like if I did regular culture, then like it'd be, you know, found. Like you could search it as easy, you know what I'm saying? So that was that, bro. So again, so like I got the incubate from 2017 to 2018, man, just like of like what I'm going to do, right, in order to generate revenue and be able to, you know, support, you know what I'm saying, like the like artists, you know what I'm saying, community, because just over time, like people went to use their space for pop-ups, they went to use this to do their, you know what I'm saying, to do their things, because then I realized like, well, artists need creative spaces, right? Need creative spaces, because it's just the influx of artists that like, you know what I'm saying, you know, want to use space and stuff. So time came to an end at that location, you know, and so in 2019, that's when I moved down the street to the location, right? And I opened up just right before COVID, though. You know what I'm saying, right? And so this is when now I got established, right? It was established as a LLC. So now I'm really down. I'm going into business. I'm going into business, right? So that's what happened, man. So then boom, bro. Like everything was already like shutting down leading up to that. So it's December 7th, and I did the grand opening, right? I had the best of the best artists was there. People came, you know what I'm saying, checked it out. And then, bam, like everything was shut down, dog. You know what I'm saying? Everything was shut down. Businesses, restaurants, you know what I'm saying? It started everywhere else and then it finally caught up to us, you know? And then got this thing COVID, right? Bam. So, but I never was like, man, how am I going to survive through this? Like, I tell you, things just like happen so quick from the point that once the year started, let's see, December, you know, we were doing our thing, like doing events, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And I'm not sure what time everything shut down in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I know that I was down at this space though because I was living in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm putting everything into this. I did 2 Shark Tanks with that Culture House I did, but I didn't have it down all the way. I'm trying to like. I remember I built a tiny house, me and Louise, and I brought that to them. I'm like, we do creative stuff. Like I'm pitching it that way. I'm bringing tiny house. Funny that there's tiny houses now here, but they weren't legal at the time. So I finished last in this Shark Tank. They gave me $1,000. I won $1,000. That was the money I put down on the Culture House to get the lease. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta make these sacrifices at that point. I heard all these stories about like how dudes had lived in their office. They got this job and they live in the, you know what I'm saying, live in the office, you know, and the manager like, hey man, you can't be washing it up in the sink, you know. You hear these stories about the sacrifices you gotta make. And I said to myself, like, what would I rather have? Would I rather have this big ass building, or would I rather just have a house, or, you know, this apartment? Like, how many people get that opportunity where they got to choose? You know what I'm saying, right? I was like, well, I'd rather have this right here. You know what I'm saying? First, right? And so that's the shit I made, but because it was attainable, but also it was going to earn me, right? It was going to, you know what I'm saying?
Tenfold.
You feel me? You don't make money off of your apartment, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do this right here. So I'm there every day anyways, you know what I'm saying? Figuring it out. And so I know that like creators, man, like we ain't gonna stop because of COVID, bro. I know that when COVID happened, like we were a place that people were like wanting to do virtual things at, right? So I'm getting asked to do virtual concerts for the Slowdown, doing virtual concerts for Nebraska Calling, like, you know what I'm saying? So that the whole virtual thing started, right? So we're doing that, and I'm doing live streaming, you know what I'm saying? I started my podcast, right? I was doing all that stuff from at that time for Culture House. I haven't recorded a new podcast in 4 years.
Oh dang.
But it's on Spotify and everything, man. The Marcey's podcast, the Backstage podcast. Check it out, man. I'm saying? I'm gonna bring it back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back. You know, and so now I would interview just different artists. You know what I'm saying, before or after the shows when they play the Culture House, and it would just, you know, me and my guy would just talk about stuff, man, hot topics and stuff, man. So around that time, like that protests and stuff are happening, you know what I'm saying, George Floyd and stuff like that. So that's when like we started to get like being more used by like, you know what I'm saying,
Community.
The community, man, right there, you know. Like I understand the magnitude. Listen, it started off by just like, hey man, you come here to chill. Me, Jakeem, like Alexis, like, you know what I'm saying, a handful of us would just be chilling at the Coach House, like watching the news, like seeing what was happening with the protests, and it was going because people was protesting in our city, you know. I was that, man. And then when James Scarlett got killed though, it kind of changed everything, man. That's kind of when like people was way more active, you know what I mean? And the protesters started going like, they were going hard, but at the same time, like, man, people was getting roughed up, you know what I'm saying? And so so I thought it would be useful, you know what I'm saying, to lend the space, right, for people to come after they, you know, after they protest, man, come chill, come lick their wounds, man, come talk about things, debrief and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And so like I said, man, it was a handful of us, man, at that time. Just, you know, we just hanging out and talk about things, man. But then when that happened, you know, collectively, man, it was like, all right, well, what can we do at most? All right, well, let's do training, right, on organizing. How to peacefully protest, like, you know, just like learning how to peacefully demonstrate. Because again, like, we were a space that like ACLU would use to hold workshops, to record testimonies and all that stuff, man. People getting ready for, you know, to go to city council and all that kind of stuff, man. So that whole thing kind of like catapulted us into like a community, like, you know, staple, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know, since that happened, man, you know, we've been focused on our mission, which is providing the arts and culture to the neighborhood, man, and being there when, you know, when the community needs us, man. You know.
And that's who Marcey Yates really is known as in the community, is somebody who provides a space to uplift the community, to bring about culture, to merge and bring together all these different worlds, bro, because it's crazy when you go in there and you have events, it's not just black people, it's white people, it's Latino people, it's everybody coming together, bro. And you really see a space that is welcoming and that is working towards the incubation of something greater within each and every individual that's in there, bro. It's a great overnight success story right there. Because when people look, they like, oh yeah, it ain't nothing to it. Like,
Nah,
when he started rapping, next thing you know, he got the coat. No,
yeah,
there's
right.
a story
I
to
think
it.
it's overnight success. It's not, man. It's not, man. It's a lot of sacrifice, man. Go into that, and you know what I'm saying. My goal, man, is always to just be a sustainable artist. Let me show you how, like, man, you don't have to sell a million records, man. But like, I know that like the key to, peaceful life and like, man, maintaining your youth and stuff, man, is being able to do what you want to do, man, doing what you love, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have less gray hairs, less wrinkles, man, but you're gonna like your life. You're gonna look forward to it, and that's the thing I always wanted to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, period.
You made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have a story though, that you're wanting to get out there and you feel like your life and your testimony could have an impact and really change the lives of hundreds, thousands, millions of people just by them hearing it, I want to give the opportunity to you to be able to be on the show. Down in the description, I'm going to leave a link for a questionnaire for you to fill out in order to get on here and be able to share your story. All you got to do, click it, fill it out. If you just put a couple of words on there, it's going to be hard for me to really see if that story is worth putting on here. So really go into detail when you answer these questions. But this is the opportunity for you to be able to come on the show and showcase your testimony, because I believe testimonies are powerful. I had somebody in here just the other day and they were like, I realized once I was able to own my story, it no longer belonged to me. It belonged to the people who were meant to hear it so that they can be helped from it. And so if that's you and your testimony and your story is meant to help somebody, fill out the link down in the description and let's get you on the show. Thanks for tuning in.